Bennedict Mathurin became the first Canadian-born player to play in Mexico City for the NBA Academy Latin America in 2018. He then committed to Arizona in 2020 as a four-star recruit. His freshman season, Mathurin played a healthy 25 minutes per game and started nearly every game for the last half of the season. He flashed his potential by shooting 42% from three and also scoring 31 points in his very first game that he started against Oregon State. But overall, Mathurin put up modest numbers as a freshman and decided to return for his sophomore season. This season, Mathurin has improved in nearly every statistical category for an Arizona team that is careening towards a number one seed in the NCAA tournament. For Mathurin personally, he is looking like he'll be a borderline top 10 pick and is looking to bring his shooting and energy to a lottery-bound team. Mathurin's first strength is as a shooter. Mathurin is a deadly three-point shooter. After knocking in 42% of his threes on 3.5 attempts per game his freshman season, Mathurin is making 38% of his 5.6 three-point attempts per game so far this season. But beyond just the percentages, he can make the shots in a variety of situations. He can spot up off the ball, he can take a handoff and shoot over a screen, he can dribble into a shot, or he can come sprinting around a screen off the ball, quickly spot up and knock down a shot. As a defender, you simply cannot lose track of Mathurin when he's behind the three-point arc. Mathurin doesn't make this easy though, as he is almost constantly in motion. If a defender looks away for even 1 second, he's relocating or flying around a screen to get open. Mathurin looks like more than just a shooter, but his ability to knock down threes at a high level gives him a very strong offensive floor to start his NBA career. Mathurin's next strength is on-ball defense. Mathurin has good physical tools on the defensive end. He's 6'7" with a 6'9" wingspan, he's athletic, quick, and fast. He uses these tools effectively by playing hard on the defensive end. When he is on the ball, he is hyper-focused on keeping his man in front of him, and he's always trying to dislodge the basketball. Despite being a bit skinny at 195 pounds, Mathurin does a pretty good job fighting over screens and staying in place defensively. With Mathurin's height and quickness, it's easy to envision him covering 1 through 3 at the start of his NBA career. He might be a bit too slight to cover 4s at this time, but if he fills out a little bit, I could see him sliding over and defending some 4s. He certainly wouldn't back down from the challenge. Mathurin should be a solid on-ball defender when he shows up in the NBA, and he has a bright future as a 3-and-D wing at the very least. One less strength for Mathurin is his ability to handle the basketball. Some shooters can't really put it on the floor to create shots for themselves or others. Mathurin has no such problem. He's very comfortable with the ball in his hands on the open floor or in the half court. He's capable of attacking a closeout on the perimeter or putting it on the floor in the pick and roll. The ability to attack closeouts is especially problematic for defenders because they have to close out hard with Mathurin's shooting ability. But if he catches you off balance or gets you to fly by, he can put it on the floor and go to the basket, or get the defense scrambling and pass it off to a teammate for an easy basket. I wouldn't say Mathurin is the type of guy that can run the offense, but he's definitely a capable wing ball handler. Mathurin might play a bit too fast at times for the NBA, but assuming he can slow himself down a little, he has the tools to be a versatile offensive threat. One weakness for Mathurin is finishing at the basket. As mentioned earlier, Mathurin can handle the ball well and is also athletic enough to throw down dunks when he gets an open run at the basket. But when he has to use more finesse and touch at the rim, he can struggle. The biggest issue for Mathurin seems to be dealing with contact around the basket. It's not that he is afraid of physicality like some guys, he just hasn't quite figured out how to compensate for contact when trying to finish around the basket. This could be an issue to start his NBA career, as the physicality only intensifies at the NBA level. I have some confidence Mathurin will be able to figure this out. He clearly has great shooting touch and isn't afraid of contact, so he just needs to continue to work on finishing through contact. Another weakness for Mathurin is he can be foul prone. Mathurin is a very aggressive on-ball defender, and for the most part this is to his benefit. He harasses opposing teams' ball handlers and forces them into turnovers and bad shots. But it also does lead to some cheap fouls on reach-ins or bad shooting fouls when he goes for a contest too aggressively. Smart players in the NBA will be able to use Mathurin's aggressive nature against him, and he could find himself in foul trouble on occasion or on the bench for committing a silly foul. This seems like a fairly simple issue to fix. Mathurin just needs to respond to coaching and learn when to take his foot off the gas just a little bit. However, there's also the old can't teach an old dog new tricks theory. It's possible that this is a lingering issue for Mathurin, but I am more in the camp that he'll work it out of his game. This first clip displays Mathurin's dynamic ability as a shooter. The play starts with Arizona inbounding under the basket. Mathurin comes flying around a couple of screens, catches the inbound pass, and drains the three with a hand in his face. Mathurin has the ability to get his feet set very quickly on the move and also hits shots even under duress. Both of these attributes will make him a valuable floor spacer at the NBA level. This next clip shows off some of Mathurin's defensive intensity. The play starts with Mathurin defending the ball handler out on the wing. When a screener comes up to his right, Mathurin calmly waits for his man to make his move. The ball handler rejects the screen and tries driving back to the right, but Mathurin beats him to the spot and takes the ball away. Mathurin has the potential to be a tenacious perimeter defender in the NBA and shows that off by making plays like this. This final clip gives us a look at how Mathurin can be a bit over-aggressive as a defender. The play starts with Mathurin defending out near half court. As his man starts to dribble in to set up a screen, Mathurin takes a swipe at the ball across the offensive player's body and picks up a reach-in foul call. While there's nothing wrong with being aggressive as a defender, there are times where Mathurin needs to be able to dial back the intensity just a little bit, or else smart NBA players will use his over-aggressiveness against him. Bennedict Mathurin has a great skill set for the modern NBA. He can shoot at a high level, defend multiple positions, and put the ball on the floor when needed. Mathurin is the type of player that can contribute to winning anywhere he goes. That being said, while I like his skill set, I don't think he has a ton of star potential. I think he would be perfect as a second or third banana on a winning team. If he's the top offensive option that everything has to run through, I don't think that team would be super successful. Mathurin is at his best playing off of others, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Mathurin should have a great career as an NBA starter and will be a joy to watch wherever he goes. My NBA comp for Bennedict Mathurin is souped-up Devin Vassell. Vassell is a reasonably athletic 3-and-D shooting guard for the Spurs that can put it on the floor when needed. Mathurin is all of these things, he can just do them at a higher level than Vassell can at this time.